Welcome to Alex and Richa's Kitchen. Today we're doing a challenge! We're doing okra two ways. I'm going to be doing Southern United States fried okra and
I'm going to be doing Bhindi Masala, which is a North Indian dish.
And then at the end of it, we'll have our daughter try them both out and see which one she prefers. Let us know down in the comments which one you think you would prefer.
I'm doing Bhindi Masala. Bhindi just means okra. These okras are thoroughly washed, so I'm going to be cutting them. You don't want to wash after cutting the okra because otherwise it gets slimy. And I will be cutting lengthwise. Like that. So mine okra is done. I'm using 400 grams of okra and I'm using 1.5 tomatoes. I'm going to blend the tomatoes and I'm using half an onion. Okay. I'm going to chop the onion in a very, very thinly sliced pieces like that. That's it. Here we have 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of coriander seeds, which I will be crushing, 1/2 teaspoon of ajwain, 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida or hing, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 3/4 teaspoon of garam masala, and salt to taste. The first step is I'm going to shallow fry the okra. And the reason for that is it firms together nicely and it gives away the moisture. So it is not that soggy okra texture at the end. So make sure that you fry the okra in a high heat. You just want to sort of roast it and not completely cook it. Okay, I think it's done now. I'm going to take it out. Now we are starting to make our bhindi masala. I already put the oil in there. I'm going to start with putting some spices when the oil is a little hot. The first one is my cumin seeds. The second one is a crushed corianders. Third one is the ajwain. Going to mix it. And that only needs like 20 seconds to blend in. Here goes my onion. Now I'm going to cover the onion. At this time, my onion turned translucent. So we will add some chili powder, which I didn't put in as a spice, but it's an optional spice. Then I'll put turmeric and hing or asafoetida. I'm going to give it a stir. I'll let it cook for maybe 2 more minutes. At this point, I'm going to add the tomatoes. After the tomatoes, I'm adding my salt and also the garam masala. I'll wait until the mixture thickens. Now since the mixture is thickened, I'm going to add my okra. Give it a good stir. So at this point in time, my okra has been cooked very nicely. I'm adding the last ingredient, which is a secret ingredient to make the recipe very creamy. I'm using 2 tablespoons of plain vegan yogurt. And this is what it looks like when it's done. I'll add some cilantro to garnish when we plate.
So now it's going to be my time to shine. We're going to be doing a fried okra. That basically means there's going to be 3 steps. There's going to be taking the okra and putting it in something sticky, and then putting it in a spiced flour and cornmeal mix. And then we're going to dump it in oil. It's going to crisp up with all that nice flavor, and it's going to be super, super tasty. So for spices, we are going to do quite a few things. These are all going to go in together with the bread mix, so we don't have to worry about different stages for them. I've got essentially a teaspoon of each one. So we have a teaspoon of smoked paprika, teaspoon of, this is just a generic Cajun spice. I'm using this one, which is street Cajun. We have black pepper to taste. Then we have plain salt as well as a spicy seasoned salt. I really love this one, Slap Ya Mama. This is our hot variety, so this will be relatively spicy. And then we have onion, ground onion, as well as ground garlic. So now we're going to be chopping our okra. It's going to be pretty simple. Basically, we don't need the top here, so we're going to remove that. And the stem, we're going to treat a little bit different too. If it's tender, we are going to use it. But basically, we're just going to be doing little, let's call it bite-sized pieces. Yeah, we're just going to do little bite-sized pieces. This one, because it has two faces, so it's easy for everything to kind of get in there. But for the little end pieces, I do cut those lengthwise just to kind of use everything, right? I do see some recipes, they just toss it, but I would prefer to use everything that we can. Just kind of lay them up. There we go. I did nick myself. We got fancy new knives to do our cooking show, and look how that goes. There is our okras. So at this part of the video, our B camera ran out of space, but essentially all I'm doing here is giving a light dusting of flour to the okra before I put in the full wet ingredients into it. There's like a light coating on there. So now it's time for the dredge. At this stage, we're going to add some vegan buttermilk. I have a plain, unsweetened, no flavor, anything like that. Just a plain soy milk. Other types would work fine. I just added a little bit of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons worth into the cup, and just let it sit for a while. We'll do half a cup of that into the thing. We're also going to add some Tabasco sauce at this stage. I'm using not quite Tabasco sauce. This is a Louisiana Crystal hot sauce. Now, I would recommend using something like Just Egg at this point as well. You could use that instead of the vegan buttermilk. Just Egg's a nice vegan egg that's very good, very sticky. But it was sold out. Good to see it not there. I'm also going to use a little bit of a flax egg. Because I made the buttermilk, it's already a little bit sticky. So I'm only really using, 2 little spoonfuls there to kind of add some, again, just extra stickiness. It shouldn't really impact the flavor at all, but it'll help these guys get stuck to the flour. You're going to let this sit for maybe 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. While that is going though, we will be able to start our dry station. So I'm using a half cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to go in as well with the same amount of cornmeal. Of course, our spices. There goes the paprika, Cajun spice, onion powder, garlic powder, and what's left of the black pepper, and some more salt and seasoned salt. Just whisk this up. So this is our okra after sitting with our wet ingredients for 10 minutes. And these are our dry ingredients. And for this one, you really do need to get your hands in there. They shouldn't be sticking together too much, but they should get nicely coated. Really just have fun with it. You can see that one's looking very, very nice. And I'm putting them onto a tray here, just because if there was a plate, it would like clump at the bottom of the plate. So this is just a kind of nice, reliable way to do that. Some of the last batch is a little different, I guess, in shape, but that's fine. And look at my hand. Okay. Okay. Now let's start dropping these babies in.
This is my phone booth.
Welcome.
It was hot and it's not done.
I don't know if that's bad.
It's actually good.
The okra sliminess is there, but I don't mind it as much. Okay, so there you go. 2 ways to make okra. 2 very different ways, actually.
Okay,
But
is my foot gonna be shown?
no.
Okay.
So there you have. We have essentially these nice little things you can just pop one after the other. And of course, my wife made a very delicious Bhindi Masala. How about you try a bite of mine, hun?
That is pretty nice. Okay, how about you try mine? I think I have a problem with giving like bigger pieces or bigger bites.
That was very good. The heat's nice in it, actually. That blends into everything pretty nicely. So that one is very nice. The heat blends in there good. All the spices really do a very great job complementing each other.
What would you say about yours? I think you can describe
These
it
are
better
nice.
than I do.
They're addictive. You can just pop one after the other. You can convince yourself they're healthy because they all you see shades of green in there still.
And they are healthy because they are not like
Healthier, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's a nice crunch. The slime that can be associated with okra doesn't really come through completely in either dish, actually. So both of them, I think, worked really well with that. Next, we're going to have our daughter try both. I think she's going to have a really tough time picking what she thinks is going to be her favorite.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so this is a moment of truth now. Yeah, our daughter got back from school. She's going to get to see which one she prefers. We won't tell you whose is whose, but just try it out and see what you like.
All right, let's try one of these. I really like that. Yeah, wow, that's really good. Definitely my fast food.
We have dogs misbehaving below us.
That's also really good. It's more of what I'm used to growing up, but it was different, but I really, really, really like it. Like it's like I don't know. It's really good.
You have to choose for the challenge. Who's it going to be then? Which one's it going to be?
That's really, really hard. But I'm saying I think today I was definitely in the mood for these a little bit.
Wow, look at that. Victory for Southern cuisine.
Well,
yeah, so let us know which one you would have preferred. And
like and subscribe.